Fuck Up Coach Dr. Kalasana and his virtual team welcome you to the 7th episode of the tutorial on how to become a total failure, presented by Jenny.
Thank you, Guy. In the last 2 episodes, you learned how to become a stranger to others and how to consider money and looks like the most important criteria. Today, we're going to look at how you can create that feeling of being left out in yourself. To feel excluded, it's enough to assume that your colleagues are secretly making fun of you. Therefore, it is only natural not to trust them and to look for the smallest clues to do so. Then it's only a matter of time before you hear others whispering and see conspiratorial nodding. To check this, you should immediately discuss this with your other friends. This is the only way you can distinguish real friends from fake ones. Because the fake friends will try to dissuade you from your supposedly unfounded suspicions. Of course, this is not a surprise, because no one will openly admit that they want to harm you. This not only tells you who is behind the intrigue but also provides you with proof. After all, why else would the people you thought were your friends go to such lengths to convince you otherwise? Austrian philosopher Paul Watzlawick, among others, has dealt with such problems in his works. Here is another example of how to get on the track of a conspiracy. Have you ever noticed that traffic lights always turn red as you approach the intersection? Ignore the thought that statistically, you are likely to encounter a green light as often as a red one. Instead, subconsciously include the red lights in your list of misfortunes and ignore the green lights to realize that sinister forces are conspiring against you. In general, it's helpful to train your eye for important discoveries and surprising connections. For example, examine your apartment door until you discover a previously unnoticed scratch. Ask yourself whether it is deliberate damage to your property or an attempted burglary. But be careful, don't downplay it and look for a reason. Deal with the problem only mentally, because any reality check will reduce the likelihood that your anxiety will increase. If something good has happened to you recently, or if you are even on a lucky streak, you should remember that you have no right to be happy. Therefore, immediately question the phenomenon critically. Since you are not naive, do not believe in luck either. Instead, look for the catch, and if you try hard enough, you will find one. Because everything has its price. And if something is too good to be true, then it is not true. As an experienced professional in dealing with adversity, you know the risks of everyday life. That's why it's best not to take any risks at all. Flying on vacation? A suicidal pilot might crash the plane into a mountain wall. Taking a cruise across the Atlantic? The ship could hit an iceberg and sink. Driving a car? Every day, thousands of people around the world die in traffic accidents. Even as a cyclist, you live dangerously. Especially if you are overlooked by turning trucks. The best thing to do is to stay home. But that's where most accidents happen. You could slip in the shower and break your neck, or trip over the carpet, fall on the edge of the table and lose consciousness. So it's better not to get up in the morning at all. All these examples will help you not to get up. Because the road to success requires effort. And even with the greatest effort, something can go wrong. That is why you should set your goals admirably high. Then everyone will realize that the road is long and difficult. And if you fail, then, like many old role models, you can even get some of their shine. But there is another argument for not reaching your goal. Because you might regret it, in a foreign city you are cheated by the cab driver. After passing an exam, the next challenges are looming. You know that every beginning has an end, and therefore you should hold on to unattainable goals that are more desirable and romantic than realistic goals could ever be. As everyone knows, the honeymoon does not last forever. Therefore, fall in love only with unattainable people, such as married people, priests, or movie stars. This way, you can forever indulge in romantic daydreams without the risk of running into your idol in everyday life. And if that happens, your idol would immediately be unattractive if he or she would be willing to have a relationship with you. So you can travel on with hope without ever having to arrive. In the 1985 film Weatherby by David Hare, Ian Holm warns his colleague Vanessa Redgrave, who doesn't want to stay single. If you're afraid of loneliness, never get married. Now torture yourself with these beliefs. I am not worthy of love. Others' feelings are more important than my own. There's no point anyway. Life is difficult. Everything is predetermined. Let's end this episode with a few easy-to-follow behavior tips. When you get a call from a friend, it is best to start immediately with an accusation, like Sarah.
Huh?
Hey!
Oh, you're still around? You haven't contacted me for ages.
If a meeting can't be avoided, keep checking your phone for new messages. If you are still registered with a dating portal, check your profile. Have you made enough spelling mistakes? Is your profile photo a casual picture that is at least 5 years old and shows you in an unflattering situation? Have you made yourself look at least 10 years younger? Remember, if you are in your mid-60s, write early 50s in your profile, otherwise, only people over 75 will be interested in you. This may sound like,
"Come to Grandma!"
or,
Hello there!
check if your profile text starts with the words,
After several bad experiences, I don't want to be disappointed even more. I was cheated on and am now looking for someone who is honest.
If not, change it. In the unlikely event that someone still wants to date you, tell them about the advantages of having multiple profiles on the portal where you met your date. Justify this by saying that you want to test which lies work best. Think of every appointment as an audition. Be sure to stick to your starting package with your best sides, even if your repertoire is exhausted after 2 weeks, because by then at the latest you'll have the next date in the bag.
You listened to the 7th episode of the tutorial How to Become a Total Failure. In the next episode, you'll learn how to lose your job and your loved ones. Listen to the ad-free version on Apple Podcasts now. Visit the fuckup.coach website to learn more about Dr. Kalasana and his virtual team. And to let us learn how you like this tutorial and what you might miss, we look forward to your review. Thank you.